At first, everyone laughed. Roblox myths always start that way, don't they? A funny joke in chat, a couple of fake screenshots, a video with a super dramatic title. But this one felt different. It became a lot harder to ignore when people started noticing patterns that were just too precise to be a coincidence. Players with usernames like Lavagebra would suddenly fall into molten pits during obbies, even in levels that didn't have lava when they first joined. Someone named Disconnect got froze mid-run, his avatar stuck in place before his screen went black. He was kicked from the server with a permanent ban message that just said connection lost in big red letters. Of course, the initial reaction was just, it's confirmation bias. People were seeing what they wanted to see. But then the compilations started appearing online. Videos showing death after death lining up perfectly with usernames, names that had been created years ago. Silly names, chosen by kids who never thought they'd matter. Then one day, a new server appeared under a popular horror game. It was unnamed, with a player limit of exactly 12. Every single person who joined noticed the same thing at once. Above every avatar, floating faintly like a watermark, was their username, glowing softly, and beneath it, in smaller text, was a progress bar labeled fulfillment. For most, it was empty. For some, it was partially filled. But for one player, it was completely full. Seconds later, he just vanished. No death animation, no sound effect, nothing. He just disappeared, leaving behind only his username hovering in the air before it faded out completely. Panic spread through the server like wildfire. We all started checking each other's names, realizing that some were vague and harmless, like Runnerx or Cool Builder, but others were disturbingly specific. Thalagame, Burn Slow, Drowneds. The game didn't explain anything. It just started. We were dropped into a familiar-looking map, but something felt deeply wrong. Paths would bend when you weren't looking. Sounds lagged just slightly behind our actions. The UI elements flickered, as if they were struggling to keep up. The first death happened fast. A player named Tripwire slipped on a perfectly flat surface. His avatar's legs tangled up in a way that was completely unnatural, snapping backward before he ragdolled in a way Roblox physics should never allow. As his body disappeared, his fulfillment bar instantly filled and locked, and above the spot where he fell, his username remained for just a moment longer, glowing brighter than before, almost like it was satisfied. After that, no one was laughing anymore. People started testing it, cautiously, desperately trying to avoid anything even remotely related to their names. And that's when the game started to adapt. Someone named Freeze-Time tried to stay moving constantly, jumping and running, never stopping, but the server lagged violently around them until everything slowed to a crawl, except their avatar. They were trapped, frozen midair, until the timer ran out and their fulfillment bar filled as the entire world around them froze solid. Someone else, named Helmeno, tried hiding, avoiding all damage. The game responded by introducing an NPC medic who offered help, but the medic healed them slowly, so slowly that their health bar was actually ticking down instead of up. The moment they accepted the final, fatal heal, their avatar collapsed as if from exhaustion. The fulfillment bar filled with a soft, gentle chime. It became terrifyingly clear. The game wasn't just predicting our deaths, it was steering us toward them. It was bending mechanics, rewriting rules, all to satisfy the meaning of a name that had been chosen years before any of this existed. And that's when I checked my own name again. I mean, really checked it. Not just the letters, but the implication, the promise that was embedded in it. My username was still here. I picked it years ago because it sounded cool, resilient, and beneath it, the fulfillment bar was completely empty. No progress at all. At first, that felt like a wave of relief. Empty meant safe, right? Unfinished. But then I noticed something else. Unlike everyone else's, my bar didn't have a percentage. It just said pending. As more players died, as names fulfilled themselves one by one, the server grew quieter, emptier. Soon there were only a few of us left. The map itself started collapsing inward. Entire areas deleting themselves, forcing us closer and closer together. The remaining usernames grew brighter, more insistent, flickering like they were impatient. One player named Lost Stone Left started laughing hysterically. He was convinced he'd beaten the system, and then the server forcibly disconnected everyone else, leaving him completely alone. His fulfillment bar filled instantly as the words "last player remaining" flashed across his screen. And then there was just me. My avatar stood in a shrieking void with my username hovering above me, glowing softly, but not filling, not completing, just waiting. And then the game finally spoke, not through chat, but through a system message that appeared directly in my vision. It said, "Usernames are promises." I tapped back, my hands shaking. I asked what my name meant, why it hadn't happened yet. The response came slowly, deliberately, as if it wanted me to understand every single word. "Your event requires observation." Suddenly, the server list popped open on its own. It showed dozens, then hundreds of servers spinning up in real time. All variations of games I recognized: hobbies, simulators, role plays, horror maps. And next to each one was a counter showing active players, ticking upward at an insane speed. I realized with a growing dread that my fulfillment wasn't tied to a single death or a single moment. It was tied to persistence, to being present after everything else had ended. The game began force joining me from server to server without my input. My avatar would appear silently in the background of other players' games. I was unable to interact, unable to speak, just watching as their usernames began to glow faintly, as their own fulfillment bars appeared without any explanation. I tried to log out. I tried to close the game, but every time I did, I was instantly rejoined. Sometimes in the same place, sometimes somewhere else. Always still here, always watching. Players started to notice me. They'd send me messages asking why I was following them, why I never left their server. Some of them joked that my username was creepy, that it felt like I'd always been there. And that's when it finally clicked. My prophecy wasn't about how I would die. It was about how I wouldn't. Because as long as someone else was playing, as long as usernames were being fulfilled, as long as the game needed a witness, I would remain, stuck in servers long after players died or disconnected, standing alone in empty maps with nothing but glowing usernames hanging in the air, like digital gravestones. And now, when new players join and the theories resurface about usernames having a hidden meaning, I'm there, in the background, silent, watching, because my fulfillment bar still says pending, and the system message still repeats in my vision whenever I try to leave. You are still here, and according to the game, that means my prophecy isn't finished yet. Thanks for watching. If you like this story, be sure to subscribe for more.